I'm taking my phone into a repair shop tomorrow, and it's most likely going to get fixed by Sunday, meaning that until all the parts arrive and all that stuff, I should have to wait around 7 days, meaning I should be able to get a video out by Sunday, a Clash Royale video. So, because I need content, I thought we would do something different here. Today, we're going to be discussing my Clash Royale hot takes, ranging from the most mild to the most extreme. So, it's going to be ranging from 10% to 100%. Also, excuse my bed situation. I'm doing laundry and I have not put the sheets on my bed yet, so sorry about that. So just know these are not all my hot takes. Like with every new season, I'll probably have new hot takes on the season, and this is just a little fraction of what I think. But if you guys do want to see more hot takes, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys do want to see more of this, because I am happy to make more of these slideshows. It was very fun making this one. If you guys do want to see more Clash Royale hot takes, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It will definitely let me know that you guys will be enjoying these kinds of videos. Alright, no more yapping, let's get straight into business. Number 1, also known as 10%. Without Jinxie, Clash Royale wouldn't be anywhere near the popularity it has today and would be a bottom 2 game in terms of revenue for Supercell. Now, to elaborate on this, when Jinxie started playing Clash again around like June, I think. Actually, no. I think it was earlier, like May. I think he started playing in May or April. Like literally weeks after he started playing, there was a resurgence in not just Clash Royale, but in other Supercell games. Like people started to get more interested in Supercell as a whole and their game franchises. I don't think this is too much of a hot take. I think it's a pretty cold take. And the bottom 2 game in terms of revenue for Supercell, I do think maybe it's a bit too harsh, but we'll never know, obviously. But I don't think it would be anywhere near the top 3 games in revenue currently, because the trajectory it had before Jinxie, it was terrible. But when he came in, everybody knows, and everybody's heard this a million times, he revived Clash just like he revived Siege. So Jinxie for me has been a pleasure to watch, and he's actually the reason why I got back into Clash, and partially why I actually even made this YouTube channel. So thanks to him, I guess, because he really inspired me to make this channel and play the game again, get back into it, make content, do all that good stuff. So yeah, not much of a hot take. It's just 10%. So let's just move on to the next one. Okay, next one, number 2, also known as 20%. No one, and I mean no one, expected for Clash Royale to get this popular again. Okay, to quickly sum it up, you tell some guy like 6 months ago that Clash is going to be in the same state as it is in 2016 currently, they would laugh at you, bro. Like, look at the chart. This is the interest over time of past 12 months, and this was like September 29th of 2024. Look at this graph, bro, and look at it just steadily increasing. In May, this is when Jinxie started streaming. So yeah, I was correct. He started streaming in May, started streaming Clash in May, and look at that. Look at this graph. So don't think much of an explanation is needed here. Nobody expected for Clash to get this popular again, and if you did think that, you're just lying to yourself, because this is just a crazy game resurgence that I think it's gonna go in the history books as one of the greatest game resurgences of all time, alongside Siege and all those other, game resurgences. But this is definitely going into the history books. Okay, literally nobody expected this. All right, moving on. Number 3. Also known as 30%. This is a side profile of Riley. I think he looks pretty tough. Mohamed Light will be the most dominant and most decorated player in the game's history. He will forever be the GOAT of Clash to many, similar to how Magnus Carlsen dominates in chess and is widely considered to be the best of all time. Is widely considered as the best of all time. The only person who can get close or equal his legacy is Riley, and I think a lot of people would agree on me with this. Like, people widely accept that Magnus is the GOAT of chess and he will forever be the GOAT of chess. I think maybe the second greatest player of all time in chess is Garry Kasparov. So I think right now it's very similar in Clash, because currently Mohamed Light, he is dominating. Okay, he wins every tournament he's in practically. He rarely loses, okay, especially in a competitive setting. Now, Riley is still young and he has many years ahead of him. So it is interesting to see how the dynamic between these two is going to shift, and maybe who's going to be at the top, because in the 2022 CRL World Finals, he did beat Riley, okay, in the final. It was a dominant performance by him, and I really felt bad for Riley at that time. I really want to see him win silverware, but unfortunately, so far it's not really been looking up for him. He actually got eliminated, and he didn't even qualify for this year's CRL, which is just absolutely heartbreaking. So yeah, God bless Riley. I really hope he does win something in the coming year, because I really think his skill does equate to him having to have some kind of silverware. But for now, for I think the next 5 years, Mohamed Light, if he continues to play, obviously he will be the GOAT, and I think for a long time people will always consider him as the GOAT, even if Riley somehow manages to get close to him or slightly, I mean, even if Riley somehow manages to, get close to his legacy or slightly below it, people will still always consider Mo the GOAT just because of his presence in the game and his aura. But Riley does have a bigger online presence, so it's going to be interesting to see how all that shapes up in the coming years. But right now, Mo is undisputedly the GOAT, and yeah, I don't think there's much of a question in that. Oh, by the way, this picture is the Egyptian, like some government official from Egypt congratulating Mohamed Light on winning CRL 2022, which is crazy, bro. Imagine having like a government official congratulating you on winning like a massive tournament for a mobile game. Well, to be fair, Egypt is a quite small country, so I'm not surprised why they would do that. Like, any recognition is good for him, so I'm happy he's doing well. So I love both of these guys, but I always root for Riley. Riley is my GOAT. Riley will always be the GOAT in my heart. All right, moving on. 40%. The work in progress balance changes for the October 2025 season will be some of the best set of balance changes the game has had in some time, if they mostly stay the same. Okay, we had no buffs here, but I'm starting to like this because I think a lot of cards here needed nerfs. For example, Berserker needed a nerf. Goblin Giant needed a nerf. Goblin Machine needed a nerf. Guards needed a nerf. Vines needed a nerf. Minions needed a nerf. This thing needed a nerf. Baby Dragon needed a little bit of a nerf. I don't agree with the cycle nerf, but it's whatever. This needed a nerf. This needed a nerf. Overall, it's a great set of balance changes. Some of the best we've had. And if you look into the past few balance changes, they've all been pretty dog shit in my opinion. They haven't been like completely garbage, but like they're not as good as this. This is just like, compared to what we have been seeing these past few months, this is just through the roof. This is just incredible. So I'm really glad the dev team decided to make these changes. And overall, this is a massive W for the game as a whole. Keeping the rhythm going with more stuff talking about balance changes. If the work in progress balance changes stay as they are as of today, the Evil Baby Dragon and the Vine spell will both be dead cards next season. So let me go back to the previous slide. So look at all these nerfs the Vines is getting, and the Evil Baby Dragon is getting a cycle nerf from 1 to 2 cycles. All right, let's talk about the Baby Dragon first. The Evil Baby Dragon's main gimmick, it was the wind, obviously, but another reason why people loved it so much was because of the one cycle. One cycle evolutions that are like 4 elixir or above have always been broken, and because they're nerfing that, the whole broken aspect of the card is gone. Like, you're like cycling 2 baby dragons just to get that little boost of speed. It's just not going to be worth it anymore. Doing it every cycle, now that, on the other hand, that's very worth it. But I just don't see it viable in any decks in the coming season, because it's just not going to be viable. Having to cycle it twice, meaning you're going to have to maybe get a maximum of like, what, 3 or 4? Nah, maybe less. You're probably going to get the card you're probably going to get the Evo in your match, maybe like a maximum of like 3 times, or 3 or 4 times throughout the whole game. That's if you're lucky. 3 times, I think it's the minimum. Not the minimum, but like the max 4, I think. It's if you're really lucky. I'm not sure, but overall, pretty much, I just think the card is dead. Low-key, there's just no saving it, unless they revert this back, which they're definitely not going to, but yeah, it's just what I think. Okay, moving on to the Vines. Literally, you can just look at this for yourself. Just look at it, pause the video, look at this. They're nerfing everything about the card that made it good. It's not going to be prevalent. I just think it's going to be a dead card. I don't have much to say. I just don't think it's going to be viable anymore. It's going to be a dead card. Okay, but we'll see, because they're nerfing the duration from 2.5 to 2 seconds, which I think is what made the card so good, that it's a 2.5 second freeze with a hunter net. But overall, yeah, I just don't think it's going to be viable. But this is all speculative. This could be still like a top 5 card next season. We'll see how the meta changes, especially because there's no more 3-card cycle. But that's just my personal opinion. I just don't think these 2 cards will be viable if the nerfs stay the same as they are of today. Moving on, 60%. Supercell is one of the greediest gaming companies out there and should be in the same conversation as EA more often for their monetization tactics. Okay, so we have the 7 deadly sins: pride, sloth, wrath, gluttony, envy, and lust. Oh wait, I forgot one. We have Supercell. That's greed. So Supercell in general is a greedy company. Okay? And the reason I think they should be compared to EA is because of their monetization tactics. I understand that a game needs to have monetization to keep the company afloat, but the thing is, the way they're monetizing it is just flat out disgusting. I think they removed these value things, but they used to do this where they would just put like 25 times value on an offer. Like, you're not telling me this is a 25 times value offer. Like, dude, like, I don't know how to do the math. I don't know how to do math, but like, this is just not a 25x value offer. Just stop bullshitting, okay? And we have these stupid, like, I don't even know what to call them. It's like you buy something, then you get some stuff for free, and they have to buy something. It's just the most recent example with the Spirit Empress. Like, you have to pay 48 pounds, or that's euros. That's euros, 48 euros for like this crap. Oh my god, it's just they lure you in by having some free emotes and some gold. So hey, if you just buy this, you're gonna get some free stuff. And they have more of the bullshit monetization tactics, and the goblin from Clash of Clans perfectly represents them. They just want to get as much gold as possible. Yeah, I don't think it's really a debate that Supercell are greedy, but the thing is, I don't hear them in the conversation as EA. It's like, oh my god, EA is so bad, EA bad. Yes, EA is terrible, but like, why is Supercell not in there? Like, if you're talking about greedy gaming companies, Supercell should immediately be at a high spot in your list. Like, it might not have to be at the very top. It's obviously subjective, but you have to put the company at a high ranking because they are greedy bastards. All right, it's just pretty self-explanatory. If you play the game at all, you would see the shop flooded with offers, and not only that, it's like releasing new cards, having offers like this for them, and then nerfing them to the ground next month. I mean, the Spirit Empress is still a good card, but for example, with the Vines is going to be dead next season, I'm telling you. And yeah, release. Okay, here's the cycle: release broken Evo. People use the Evo for like a month, and then you nerf it to the ground next season. Boom. That's all they do, and that's what happens almost every single season. Last time I remember that not being the case is with the Evo Musketeer. That was probably like one of the last balanced Evos I remember. But after the Evo Musketeer came out, I quit and then came back this summer. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if you play the game whatsoever, you know what I'm talking about. Moving on to 70%. Clash of Clans is equal to the most well-known Supercell game. Meanwhile, Clash Royale equals the best Supercell game currently. Please state currently. Like, literally, I feel Clash of Clans is on the same level as Minecraft in terms of, in terms of recognition, like around the world. Like, some random grandpa who's never played a single Supercell game can look at Clash of Clans and say, "Oh yeah, that's Clash of Clans. My grandson played that on my phone one time." It's like Clash of Clans is extremely recognizable. Clash Royale is also extremely recognizable, but not to the level of Clash of Clans. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Clash of Clans is 100% way more recognizable than Clash Royale. Just, you have to accept that, right? Any Clash Royale fans here, including myself, I'm a big-time Clash Royale player. Like, this whole channel is focused around Clash Royale. I admit Clash of Clans clears Clash Royale in terms of recognizability. But Clash Royale, on the other hand, is currently the best Supercell game because obviously it's raking in the most money. It's got the best content currently. So, I mean, the landscape of Supercell games can definitely change over time. But currently, yeah, Clash Royale is the best Supercell game for sure. It clears every other franchise they have. I don't think that's much of a debate. Next up, 80%. We're getting into the pinnacle. Clash Royale is currently in a better state than it was back in 2016, the game's peak year. thanks to all the media attention it's getting with so many big names online playing it, including Mr. Beast. By the end of this year, we will definitely know whether or not 2025 was the best year for Clash Royale in its history. And I put this like little thing here. It's like both being incredible years for Clash. It says 2016 and 2025. Look, yeah, Mr. Beast did a stream with Jinxie. It was like Jinxie. No, Mr. Beast had to win one game and Jinxie had to win 99. Mr. Beast actually ended up winning, which is crazy. I think he was getting a little bit of help from Riley and Ian. So that was pretty cool. But I just think all this media attention it's getting, it never got this much media attention back in 2016. Never. I know I wasn't playing the game back then, but I can't imagine it getting this much media attention back then. I know I started playing in 2018, but it doesn't matter. It's just like there's so much info about this game online. It's not hard to just do a little bit of research and find out that, hey, no, maybe 2025 is overall the better year for it in terms of revenue, in terms of popularity, in terms of exposure. I can't talk right. So yeah, I think it's just a better year. Right now it is a better year. We'll see what updates come out by the end of the year. If Supercell just fucking nuke the game, then it might be a debate. Maybe 2016 will still be at the peak. But up until 2025, 2016 has always been the best year for this game. But currently, 2025 is definitely a big contender. And it might already have surpassed it in some eyes. But for me right now, it's still a debate, and I do want to wait until January to see where things really go with this. Yeah, at the end of the year, we'll see, but I personally do think that 2025 will be the best year for Clash Royale in its history, but we gotta wait and see. All right, we're getting to the pinnacle of this slideshow. 90%, let's get it. Hog 2.6 is not no skill, but it's by no means a high skill deck. So I found this funny image on Google Images. It's like a guy wearing a shirt that says "Eat, Sleep, Hog 2.6, Repeat." If somebody genuinely wears this shirt unironically, then good for you, dude. Okay, so the reason I put this so high is because there are so many people out there that think Hog 2.6 is a high skill deck. Look at Oyasu. Look at Oyasu. He's getting to like top ladder with this. He's getting like top 100 finishes with Hog 2.6. Look, dude, just because a pro can get a top 100 finish with like a deck doesn't mean that you can. That's not how it works. There's no correlation to a pro getting a top 100 finish with a specific deck that people call no skill to then you saying that, oh, but because he did it, why can't you? There's just no correlation, dude. I'm sorry. Like, if you just think about it for a second, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, moving on. I overall think the deck takes some skill. It definitely takes skill. Placements is a big factor in this deck. But overall, all the people glazing this deck, it's just not a high skill deck, but it's not a no skill deck because you definitely need to know placements. And in 2025 with vines and stuff, I genuinely respect you if you actually use Hog 2.6 and like top ladder, because that is hard. That is not easy. But at the end of the day, if you get familiarized with the deck and you start to learn all the placements, it doesn't really become that hard to play. You just cycle back to your Hog, just place it at the bridge. I mean, it's just... Yeah, and you make sure to cycle back to your 5th Musketeer so you can place it down on the board. So you have the 6 Musketeers or 5 Musketeers on your side of the map. So that's great. But yeah, overall, I mean, the deck definitely takes some skill, but it's not like a high skill deck like many others say. I would elaborate on this, but that's like a whole video. I mean, I would elaborate more on this, but that would be like a whole other video of its own. But overall, if you use Hawk 2.6 and top ladder in 2025, I respect you. But if you just glaze the deck and say, oh, this high skill, look at Oyasu, like that's the only argument you can make. And it's like, doesn't matter. It's like you're not really proving anything by saying that a pro can do it, but you can't. One more example I just want to share. If a pro can get to like a top 100 finish with Elixir Golem and you can't, does that mean that the deck is a high skill deck, or is there just a skill gap? That's what I really wanted to say. I just couldn't get that phrase into my head. Skill gap. So is the deck no skill, or is there just a skill gap? If the deck is no skill, then there's a skill gap. If the deck is skill, then there's still a skill gap. It doesn't matter what way you turn it, there's always going to be a skill gap. If Oyasu can reach top 100 with this deck, and you can't, there's just a skill gap. That is literally just a skill issue. So stop glazing Hawk 2.6, move on with your life, okay? And just admit that it is a skill issue. So yeah, spamming hogs at the bridge and cycling to your 5th musketeer of the game in like 15 seconds. I wouldn't consider that extremely skill. But anyway, moving on. All right, guys, final take of the video. This might come as surprising to some. I surely think it will. 100% all of Clash Royale's success this year in terms of revenue, popularity, etc. is 100% deserved. Now, why did I put this on the list? Like, why did I even include this, or why was this not lower? Because I do see a lot of people mitigating all of its success, only saying, oh, if Jinxie, like, it's all because of Jinxie. And yes, Jinxie played a key role. And I know I'm almost contradicting myself with this slide. Like, it's like I'm almost contradicting myself. And yes, it definitely would not be anywhere near as popular today, but you can't just give one man all the credit. Yes, if Jinxie never, ever, like, decided to stream Clash again, it wouldn't have been as popular as today. I 100% agree with that, and I'm not trying to contradict myself here. And I kind of realize now that how this might come off. But what I mean to say by this last slide is that the Clash Royale saw the success the game was getting because of Jinxie, and they capitalized off it. They released better updates. They released balance changes that maybe weren't complete dog shit. They just did a better job, okay? Overall, I do think the dev team deserves some credit, and they used this momentum from Jinxie and they capitalized off it, because I don't think Jinxie's current influence is as great as it was back in like June or July. But I want to you should definitely respect the dev team because and like all the executives there, because they saw how successful the game was because of one man, and they took that momentum and they turned it into something great. So yeah, I do think all of his popularity is 100% deserved, because if the game wasn't fun, Jinxie would have never streamed it. And if the dev team were still rolling out dog shit updates, then nobody would play, but they actually were rolling out pretty good updates. So I do want to give a massive applause to the dev team for that, because if they didn't put in the work, I don't think Jinxie would have been able to do anything. Yeah, he would have gained the game a lot of new followers, but after a few months, players are realizing, oh, we're getting dog shit updates, why should I play? So they just leave. So massive credit to the dev team. The game's success is 100% deserved. As I previously said, if the game wasn't fun, Jinxie wouldn't have streamed it, meaning nobody would have played it. So I think all of this success is deserved. Jinxie played a huge part in it, in my opinion, but credit to the dev team. I don't think enough people give them credit because they took this momentum and turned the game into what it is now. So I just don't see a lot of people talking about that, so that's why I wanted to put this as my last take, and I thought this would be a good little cherry on top to finish off this slideshow. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see another part of Clash Royale hot takes. If this video does good enough, then I'll for sure do another part, because I really like making this slideshow. Also, I don't know if I went too much in depth or too little in depth into the topics I was talking about, but if I do end up making more parts of the series, I will for sure improve. Obviously, you get better at anything you do in life, so yeah, I mean, I kind of looking back at it now, maybe I didn't go into depth into some topics I should have gone more into depth to, but I'm not going to re-record this whole thing because I do have a research paper due tomorrow. It's I have to rewrite it. Anyway, that's going to be fun. So yeah, I'll definitely get better at making these slideshows, and maybe I'll add some more images or whatever, and I'll just maybe explain the topics, go more in depth, or maybe go a little bit less in depth into topics that don't need as much explaining to do because they are pretty obvious. So yeah, I'll get better at it as time goes on if I do end up making more of these. If you guys do want to see more, as I previously said, like and subscribe. It'll help me out a ton. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I should have a Clash Royale video out by Sunday, or I might just start a new vid, or I might just start when the new season comes out. Either way, we'll see. Have a great rest of your day, guys, wherever you are. God bless. Have a good one.